Hi, I'm Lisa Mitchell Bennett, and my mother was Ella Jane Bennett, and she was a patient at Sunshine Haven. My mom was an amazing woman. She was really a woman ahead of her time. She was born in 1933, and she always kind of went against the grain. She became a nurse. Instead of going to college, she went to nursing school. She wanted to go live in another country, so she took off and went to Colombia and lived in Mexico and Costa Rica. She was an adventurer. She was a pretty awesome person, but ultimately, when I came into the picture and my sister and I were born, she was just our mom, and she was a strong personality, but a loving person who gave so much to us and to the world. You know, my mom was a nurse, and so she had talked about this, and we had been through this with my dad, although unfortunately we didn't get to have him at Sunshine Haven, so we struggled at the end of his life a lot. And she had told my sister and I and many other people, she made her wishes very known about what she wanted her end-of-life care to be and decisions that she wanted. She didn't know so much about Sunshine Haven, but she generally believed in palliative care and quality end-of-life. She spent so much of her time the last few years in hospitals and rehab, and that was hard. That was hard for her and hard for us. And so when it came to the end, of course, we didn't really know it was the end. You don't really know it's the end until it's the end. But we were in the hospital once again, probably like the 5th time for the year. She had a massive stroke, and we were faced with some really hard decisions. And I knew about Sunshine Haven. I'd known other people who spoke highly of it, and I knew my mom believed in that kind of end-of-life care. So I think my sister and I, while we really struggled with the decision, we really knew in our hearts that it was the right thing and it's what she would have wanted. And boy, it exceeded our expectations. There's no way that we could have faced those last few days in a hospital. The Sunshine Haven gave us a place that was like a home. It was like bringing her home, but without the stress of having to care for her alone and try to manage that. It became like a celebration of her life, and she was still aware enough to receive guests and visitors, and we were able to stay there with her, you know, comfortably, and take breaks and go outside to the beautiful patio. And most of all, I think the staff was just loving to us and gave us the space we needed, but also provided her with that care and was able to answer our questions. It was like a little bubble that we had for the last days of her life that was such a gift for both my sister and I and her grandkids and, you know, her son-in-law and her friends. Well, I think my mom loved nature, and I think that's why that place, she loved birds, and I think that's why Sunshine Haven was particularly special to us. She could actually see out of her window the bird feeder, and birds would come up. And so, you know, there are certain birds that I see outside, or just when I'm feeling that kind of wave of grief that we all have when we lose someone that we love. I can just remember those last times that we had. You know, I can picture myself pointing, you know, lifting her up, her head up, and pointing out to the window to see the cardinal that was there, or the kiskadee, and just remembering all the times throughout my life that she was able to share nature with me and share books. And I see little evidence of her all over my house just because I was able to have some of her things here, and you know, my sister too, who's unfortunately, you know, lives in another state, so can't be part of this, but I know she also feels a lot of peace about my mom through nature, and through probably books are the things that remind us most of my mom. I just want to encourage the many folks that have been able to benefit from the beautiful gift that is Sunshine Haven. I encourage you to share your stories of Sunshine Haven. It's hard. It's hard to kind of bring up old memories and painful times, but it's also beautiful to be able to share that and to allow people to talk about the reality that is true for all of us, right? We're all going to reach the end of our lives, and Sunshine Haven is a place that respects that end of life. It provides quality care, and so I encourage you to share your stories about Sunshine Haven, but more importantly, to support with your gifts, with your financial support. This is a nonprofit. Sunshine Haven is open to anyone. You don't have to pay if you don't have the funding. You don't pay anything, and that is such a resource for our community. But we have to support it. It doesn't pay for itself, and it costs a lot to provide that kind of quality care. So I really encourage people to support Sunshine Haven with your financial gifts, and also to share the word. Let people know about it. Let people know there's this option. You don't have to either linger in a hospital setting or a nursing home if you're at the end of life, and you also don't have to have that burden of caring and also grieving, in your home. And I want that to be available to every single person who needs it and wants it. So please support Sunshine Haven.